Hi everyone, I'm Justisa and welcome to Dark History of Sweden. A few weeks ago we talked about Swedish serial killers. If you haven't seen that one, there will be a card up in the corner and at the end of this video. And someone mentioned this person to me after that video, and I just had to know more. So I spiraled down into research mode, and today we are going to talk about the man known as the Lemonade Killer. Anders Hansson, born 1960. September 4th, 1978, he was hired as a relief worker at Malmös Östra Hospital. He was placed at Ward 26, which was a long-term medical ward where most of the patients were elderly and senile. Before that, he had worked at a few different hospitals and nursing homes. They all said the same thing. He was weird, didn't really listen, or didn't seem to understand his assignments. And most importantly, don't hire again. There isn't much else about Anders Hansson. I do believe it is because he is still alive and has since been released. And most likely he has changed his name, a way to make living the rest of his life a little bit easier. He was only 18 when he committed these horrendous crimes. It is believed that the first murder took place on 5th of October 1978, just a month after Hansson started to work there. Karl-Erik Stenberg, 66 years old and blind. He was coughing, choking, and frothed at the mouth. Young Hansson ran out to alert the doctors and nurses, who rushed in to try and save Karl-Erik's life. Unfortunately, he died. Hansson was viewed as a hero. If he hadn't been there, they wouldn't have known. It was a heroic act even if Karl-Erik died. Hansson loved this attention. He would often tell his coworkers how much he liked the elderly, and because of his upbringing understood the importance of helping and caring for them. But there were more unexpected choking deaths, and it was always Hansson who noticed and alerted it. What they didn't know was that he was the cause of the elderly's deaths. He took it upon himself to help the poor elderly by giving them unsolicited, assisted death help. Swedish fact: it is against the law to offer or perform euthanasia. There are several laws that support this, but in 1997, they implemented the law that doctors are to bethink the weight of protecting human life and may never take actions which would hasten someone's death. Since Hansson was still considered to be a bit slow and reckless, they gave him easier and simpler assignments. Like, for example, handing out lemonade. You see where I'm going with this? That first murder, Hansson had said in his testimony that he had felt sorry for old blind Karl-Erik and wanted to help him. So he mixed detergent with the lemonade and told Karl-Erik that it was strong medicine. He didn't get a reaction to it, which left Hansson disappointed, but also curious. The next day, Hansson gave Karl-Erik another concoction, which gave him an aggressive reaction, making him cough and have difficulty with breathing. This is how Hansson started. He kept seeing poor old people that he wanted to help, and when no one was looking, he gave them the concoctions to kill them. He experimented with different detergents, but settled on the corroding substances Deville and Deville. During the next couple of weeks after Karl-Erik's death, 2 more patients died with similar symptoms. Difficulty breathing, lots of phlegm in their throat, red burn-like marks around their mouth. 2 more patients were exposed to this. They survived but had to be treated for burn wounds in their throats. You would think that by this point the staff would be suspicious, right? Well, apparently some nurses were, but the doctor said, no, it's most likely something natural. It is later on reported that there was a lot of miscommunication, and These symptoms, red marks, burns, and frothing, weren't documented in the patient's medical records. It was also brought to attention that the staff went on many coffee and smoke breaks, which made it easier for Hansson to keep doing his experiments and killing the patients. By the end of October 1978, 74-year-old Iris tried telling the nurses that someone had tried to pour something strong in her mouth. When the nurse told her superiors about this, they didn't think there were any substance to the story. Just an old senile lady confused about the situation. What now started to go around was the 26 sickness, a weird, unexplainable disease that only affected the elderly. They died in terrible pain. But this scared the entire ward and no one wanted to shift there anymore. Until January 12th, 1979. Hansson tries to give 94-year-old Elsa his lemonade and detergent concoction. She yelled and pushed him away, asking him what it was he was giving her. Nurses rushed in to find Hansson standing in the corner and repeating, "I didn't do anything, I didn't do anything, I didn't do anything, I didn't do anything." The doctors enter the room, and Chief Physician Birgitta Törnblom gets a whiff of strong detergent from Elsa. Törnblom makes all the staff smell both Elsa's mouth and a bottle of Gavisol. They all agree that is the same acrid smell. Hansson immediately said that he had a suspect. He had seen another female patient lean over her, but the other patients in the room shook their head. Police were called and they started the investigation. As soon as the police arrives, Hansson's courage starts to falter and he quickly confesses to 27 murders, 15 murder attempts during his 4 months at Malmös Östra Hospital. His explanation was that he felt sorry for them, that he wanted to end their suffering. During his interrogation, he got the question that if he hadn't been caught, would he have continued on with his murdering? His answer? Yes. A psychiatrist made an evaluation if Hansson was in his right mind or not. Already before the trial, it was clear that he would not get a prison sentence. The evaluation stated that Hansson was a model youth with a very strict upbringing and a slight mental disability. He felt indifferent towards his victims and didn't understand that what he had done was wrong. Even though Hansson claimed that all 27 deaths were his fault, they couldn't find enough evidence to try him for all of them. Instead, he was charged for 11 murders and 16 attempts at murder. On 28th of August 1979, Anders Hansson was sentenced to inpatient psychiatric care at St. Lars Hospital. He was released in 1993. 14 years. In 2015, a Swedish newspaper, Aftonbladet, got a hold of him. He seemed very kind and unassuming. When asked about the murders, he didn't want to talk about it. He only said that he had put it behind him and tried not to think about it. That was all I had on the lemonade killer at Östra Hospital. This was quite shocking, and I'm amazed by the fact that I hadn't heard about this before. I also find it a bit funny, not the acts or the happening, but the fact that all these series has led me to the project that started all of this. Last fall, I went to a place and I immediately wanted to tell its story, but I felt like I needed to do a little bit more work and a little bit more digging before I released it or did something with it. But I also felt like I really wanted to make this type of video. So that is how Dark History of Sweden started. I made videos on witch trials, which led me to serial killers and mass murderers, to which someone reacted and told me about this story, the Lemonade Killer, who ends up at the exact place where I got the idea. It has all coalesced to St. Malmös Hospital. So naturally, I feel like that has to be the next part of this series. When I realized this, I laughed so hard. You can't make this shit up. This is insane. Still, I can't wrap my head around it. It's crazy. So you better subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss the next part of this series. St. Malmös Asylum. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting me. Take care of each other and yourself, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!